Good day and thank you for watching. This is Teacher Ryan and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to share with you a shortcut, particularly in percentage, that will help you um, get a good speed in dealing with percentage problems. If you are new to my channel, kindly hit the subscribe button as well as the like and the notification bell. So without further delay, let's get started. Firstly, let us define percentage. According to Merriam-Webster, percentage is a part of a whole expressed in hundreds. And a simple definition is that percentage is equal to the parts per 100 or per 100. Now, before we proceed to the shortcut, let me review with you the standard way of solving for percentage. Now, the formula is in finding percentage is P is equal to the rate times the base. Now, we need to have the rate of percent in percent and we multiply with the base. Now, example here we have in standard math, we need to find 95% of 1200. So in this case, 95% is the rate and 1200 is the base. So finding the percentage, we need to convert the rate into decimal form, into its decimal form. So 95% in decimal is 0.95, and then we proceed to multiplication. So as we multiply, we of course we follow the standard way of multiplying. First we multiply the ones value in our multiplier. So that's 5 times 1200, so we have 6000. And then we need to multiply 9 times 1200, that gives us 10,800. And adding the partial products, we should have 11, oh no, that's 114,000. And of course, counting the number of decimal places from the right, that's 2, since there are 2 digits for our rate, 0.95. So the answer should be 1140. Now, this way is a bit tedious for most people. Now, even for a math guy like me, I find this uh, somehow uh, challenging, and most of the time I need to have a pen and paper, and it's hard for me to do this mentally. Now, let me present to you the shortcut and how this shortcut is derived. Now, firstly, the key to this shortcut is the movement of the decimal point. So, for example, here we need to find 10% of 240. So, our base is 240 and our rate is 10%, which is quite an easy uh, rate. So, here we need to establish where the decimal point is. So, the decimal point of any whole number is at the right of the last digit. So in this case, the last digit or the ones digit is 0, and to the right of 0 is the decimal point. Now finding the 10% simply means moving the decimal point by one step to the left. So from 0 or at the right of 0, moving the decimal point one step to the left, that brings the decimal point in the middle of 4 and 0. And if you read that, that should be 24.0. Hence, 10% of 240 is 24 or 24.0. Now, isn't this a shortcut indeed? Or isn't this a short way or a fast way of solving for percentage? Now, I claim that this is. And we will still find other percentages in the next slides. Moving on, in this next example, we are asked to find 1% of 240. So again, we know that the decimal point for 240, since this is a whole number, is at the right of 0. Now finding 1% is simply moving the decimal point twice to the left. So if we move from the right of 0, moving once, that brings it in the middle of 4 and 0. Moving another step to the left, that brings the decimal point between or in the middle of 2 and 4. So the or so 1% of 240 is simply 2.4 or 2.40. Another example of finding percentages using a shortcut is what's on your screen right now. It says here that we need to find 15% of 240. So we have the same base, and 15%, for all we know, basic facts about 15% is that it is also equal to the sum of 10% and 5%. So we need to find first what is the 10% of 240 and what is also the 5% of 240. So here that's just the relationship of 15%. We can break it down into 10 and 5. So no earlier we already found out we already solved for the 10% of 240, and that is 24, and 5% is simply half of 10%. So since we know that 24 is 10% of 240, half of 24 is 12. So at this point we already have the two things that we need to get 15%. First we uh, solve for 10%, and then we solve for 5%. So here we just need to add 10% plus 5%, or that's equal also to 24 plus 12, 24 being 10% of 240 and 12 5% of 240. So 24 plus 12 is or are equal to 36. So now we know that 15% of 240 is equal to 36. At this point, I'm showing you some of the relationships that we can find out of uh, percentages. So here we begin with 5%. 5% is simply half of 10%. So that's already discussed in the previous slide. Next is 50%. 50%, as we all know, is just half of the given base. Next, we move to 20%. Now, 20% is equal to two 10%. We can just add two 10%. So 10% plus 10%, that's equal to 20%. Another way is we multiply 10% by 2, since 2 times 10% is 20%. Another is 30%. 30% is easily or can be easily transformed into the product of 3 and 10%. So and another way is we can also have 3 10%, like 10 plus 10 plus 10, so that's 30%. Next example here is 21%. How about this percentage? So what we need to get 21% is we need to have the 20% first and then the 1%. It can also be uh, transformed into 10% plus 10% plus 1%. Now, lastly, here we have 49%. So 49% is also equal to 50% minus 1%. So these are the examples and relationships of percentages. Now you can also make your own. There are several percentages, and you can find relationships, and you can break down other percentages into relatively easy percentages. Now let's proceed to additional examples. First example here, we are asked to find 9% of 250. So 9% is also equal to 10% minus 1%. So we need to find these two uh, component percentages. So 10% of 250 is found by simply moving one at a decimal point to the left once. So that gives us 25 or 25.0. and 1% is moving the decimal point twice to the left, and that gives us 2.5. Solving for 9%, we need to subtract 10% by 1%. That also means we subtract 25 by 2.5, and therefore the result, or the answer for this is 22.5, or 9% of 250 is 22.5. Another example, we are asked to find the 31% of 480. So we break 31% into 30% plus 1%, or that can also be broken into 10% plus 1%. So we need to find first 10% of 480, and that should give us 48 as we move one decimal place to the left. And 1% is also found by moving the decimal point twice to the left. So that gives us 4.8. And proceeding to multiplication, we multiply 10% by 3 to get 30%. So 3 times 48 is equal to 144. So we have now 30% is 144, and we add 1%, which is equal to 4.8. So adding 144 plus 4.8, that should give us 148.8, or 148.80 as our answer. Now for our last example, I'm bringing the first problem that we had earlier. So using this shortcut, how do we find 95% of 1200? 95% can be solved, or can be transformed into 100% minus 5%. So we all know that 100% is equal to the base, which is 1200, so we don't need to solve for it. What we need to solve for is 5%. So what is 5%? It's just equal to half of 10%. So we need to find 10% of 1200, moving the decimal point once to the left. 10% is equal to 120, and half of 120 is 60. Hence 60 is 5% of 1200. Now, solving for 95%, we simply subtract 5% from 100%. So 100% is equal to the base. The base is 1200 minus 5%, which is 60. So 1200 minus 60, that is equal to 1140. Now this is a fast way of solving this problem without having to uh, be challenged with multiplication. So I hope you learned something from this video. Until next time, thank you and God bless us.